Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called, Well, You Told Me To. So this happened several times at my job, still at it, over a few years. I work at Kroger and was in the GM department after being transferred there for no reason from grocery and dairy. So fast forward a few months. I'm rocking a pallet and a half of product on the floor to carts and then to shelf. We had an area where we could hide the pallets out of the way of customers. This way we didn't have to work in the congested back room all the time. I'm minding my own business, doing my job when my store manager comes over. He gets mad. Why are you over here instead of in dairy? Oh, well, this is my department, so you know. Stop what you are doing and get over in dairy, there's no one there. We have lost at least 3 dairy managers in the course of a year for various reasons. One of the full-time day shift workers quit on the spot. And I would frequently get yelled at for taking too long to clean up when told to go to another department out of the blue. So I get told to go to dairy. Okay, what do? I leave everything on the sales floor. A half-rocked pallet, 2 U-boats half full, a bunch of empty boxes, plastic wrap and a pallet jack. I work in dairy for the rest of my shift, 6 hours, and then go home. The next day, why'd you leave all that on the sales floor? Well, you yelled at me for taking too long to clean up, so I just did what you told me. Maybe next time, don't do that? This was 6 years ago. The next story is called Penny Pinching Boss. Right after high school, my friend and I were looking for practically anything to make money. His older brother told us about a job he once had working for this guy washing windows. Now, this guy owns what appears to be a semi-legitimate business. He has a full shop/garage where he stores cleaning products, big fancy tubs that use sonic waves to wash blinds in, and a new, at the time, work truck. He's also a hardcore penny pincher and buys the cheapest, crappiest insurance he can on the truck. Initially, when we got hired, he would meet us at the shop at 7 AM. He would give us the work orders and ride out with us for on-the-job training. After a couple of weeks, he would just leave the work orders in his office and then leave us to our own devices. Now, I want to preface with, we weren't lazy. We got paid hourly, like $9 an hour. But we commissioned based on the number of individual windows we cleaned in a day, plus how many windows required a ladder. Those paid an extra 50 cents each. So if we knocked out 3 to 4 jobs in one day, we could take home approximately $14 to $15 per hour. Another important fact is that this was right after high school. So we were both 18, and for whatever reason the boss didn't bother to ask or check our hiring paperwork to confirm this. Well, after a month or so, he finds out how old we are and has a come apart. Turns out his insurance on his truck has a clause that anyone driving has to be at least 25 years old with a clean driving record, no DUIs or anything like that. Or else his monthly payment triples. So he makes it very clear to us that we are not to drive the truck. And if he finds out we're doing it anyway, he'll fire us and dock any bonus pay from our final checks. Legally, he can do that, because it's a bonus, not hourly. I need to drive home the fact that he was so delusional that he never paid attention to anything. So one day, we came into the shop and saw a stack of about 15 jobs. However, he didn't schedule anyone else except for the 2 of us that day. He never actually scheduled himself because he expected the shop to just run itself. He liked to micromanage, but simultaneously never picked up his phone if we called him. So despite calling him numerous times to let him know we can't do anything, we end up just sitting in the shop and listening to the radio for most of the day. Fast forward about 5 hours. He calls one of us to ask how things are going, how many jobs we'd finished and if we needed help to get any completed. We explained that we had been sitting in the shop all day waiting for him to come in so we could get started. Well, at this point he goes ballistic and starts just tearing us up one side and down the other about wasting his time and money and blah blah blah. Why didn't you call me? Who else is there? Has anyone finished any of the jobs? Needless to say, that was our last day there. But we threatened to report him if he didn't pay us for the time we sat in the shop that day. So we still got paid almost a full day's wages. And from what I heard, within a year or so later, his shop folded, so win-win I guess. The third story is called You Don't Need Help? I worked at a go-kart track for a summer to earn some extra cash. Me and my friends all decided to work there, but didn't realize how crazy it was going to be. Every single day there was a massive issue where someone was either fired or shooed out by the owner. Let's call him Greg. Greg wasn't in the best shape. He was larger than life, so to speak. But despite this, he would be trying to help every day on the track. He was more likely than not causing problems that would have been easily avoided. The micromanaging was brutal. And when he wasn't physically there, he would send us a lengthy email at the end of the day telling us what we did wrong after watching the cameras on the track. Now Greg also had an attitude of, he can do no wrong. And also, he doesn't need help from nobody. This led to some awkward situations with customers, especially when they were upset. More likely than not, I or the other employees had to apologize to customers daily. And if we ever mentioned it, he would then turn on us and begin to chew us out for doubting his actions. So one of our responsibilities is standing around the track with a stop sign with the word slow on it to wave at drivers who are going too fast and driving recklessly. The vehicles were too loud to simply yell at them. The track was pretty bendy, but part of it zoomed right by Greg's office. He always kept a sign handy in case he thought a driver needed to slow way down. It was one of those days, and a driver was zooming and bumping against other drivers in the wards. So Greg found us out of the office, grabs the sign and waved it in front of the driver in question, who proceeds to whiz right past him. He goes around again. Greg, more aggressively, shakes the sign at the driver, who once again ignored him and kept going. This did not please Greg. Finally, Greg uses all his might and really shakes the sign in front of the driver's face. But unfortunately, he loses his balance and falls onto the track. We rush over to him and ask if he needs help. He replies with, in his usual angry bellow, "I'm fine, leave me." Now, normally, for any other person, we could have stopped the traffic and given him our hand regardless. But this was Greg and he was very clear that he was fine and we should leave him. But despite that, he was still on the ground, rolling around and unsuccessfully getting upright from his prone position. I suddenly got an amazing idea. I grabbed some spare orange traffic cones and put them around him on the track to make sure that the cars didn't get too close. It was all I really could do while following his instructions. Only until about 10 minutes later, when all the go-karts had pulled off the track, was when Greg managed to get himself upright. But by then, we had already all busted our gut laughing. I'll truly never forget seeing him squirming mere inches from cars while refusing help. It was a sight to be seen. The last story is called Must Follow the Rules. I work in a dental practice. Over the Christmas period, we had too many staff and not enough patients. This resulted in a lot of people using their phones during their shift, as all of the things they could have done had been finished. My manager wasn't happy with this, so they sent out an email demanding all employees leave their phones in the office during the day and we can't have them on us. I left my phone in my bag, in my locker, in a locked room. I got pulled up for not putting my phone in the office. It's one rule for everyone. Except for the receptionist that watches TV shows on her phone all day. She's exempt for some reason. And if I didn't put my phone in the office, I would get a written warning on my record. One day, I put my phone into the office, even though it was safe in my locker. But I must follow the rules. On day 2, I left my phone in my locker and put an old phone in the office. I must follow the rules. The rules didn't specify it has to be the phone I use daily, just that it is the phone I own. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.